finally, let's talk Generation Z. Now, Generation Z, I could talk about for a very long time. I'm not going to. I'm going to give you some snippets. Generation Z are the fiercest activists that there are. Generation Z is anybody in your workplace under the age of 27. And let me tell you, Gen Z are going to change the world. Fact. Gen Z are the only generation who has changed the oldest institution on the planet. Anybody know what that is? You're probably racking your brains. The oldest institution on the planet is actually the Olympics, because the Olympics dates back thousands of years, and its current guise, the early 1900s. Generation Z are the only generation that has changed that organisation beyond all recognition. Because if we think about it, Simone Biles, American gymnast at the last Olympics, pulled out of the finals. She was in 4 gold medal positions and pulled out of 3 of them, citing her own well-being. That wouldn't have happened 10 years ago. We had the Italian and Qatari high jumpers who shared a gold medal. Not because the institution told them they were going to share, but because trackside they went, shall we just share? There's so many of these examples. Bethany Shriver, for example, who at the age of 17 went to the Olympics. She was 17 or something, definitely Generation Z, and won gold in BMX. That's not the real part of the story. The real part of the story is some years prior to her getting to the Olympics, the Olympic Committee, in true Eddie the Eagle fashion, and if you're a Gen Z, you've probably got no idea who that is, but in true Eddie the Eagle fashion went, yeah, we're not funding you anymore. Bethany Shriver went, so just watch me, and crowdfunded her way to the Olympic Games. Gen Z are going to change the world. They're not lazy. They are not backward in coming forward. They're just different. They are the generation that the pandemic impacted. And I take a pause there for effect. Because if we think about 18-year-olds starting work today, those 18-year-olds were likely 13, 14, even younger when the pandemic hit. When they should have been learning social skills, the world locked them away. The world imprisoned them in their bedroom. The world put them into a regime that said no. No, you can't go to the park. No, you can't go out and play. No, you can't see your friends. No, you can't develop your confidence. No, you can't develop your social skills. And then suddenly they come into the workplace and we wonder why they don't have confidence. Well, because the world didn't give it to them. Our job is to help Generation Z do the things we need them to do by talking about those things. Let me give you an example. Many of you watching this, if you are older leaders or you are managers, will have got frustrated at some point in the past couple of years, couple of months, because you have no-shows. That Gen Z that you've just recruited doesn't show on day one. Let me give you a little insight into how they're thinking. It's not that they don't want to work. It's not that they're lazy. They're likely scared. They're likely unsure of what's about to happen. They don't do conflict as well as other generations because of all the things I've talked about. If you're a manager and you know you've got a first-time employee into the workforce starting with you, the night before they come, send them a text or a WhatsApp. Hi, I know you're probably worried. Don't panic. I'll be right here by the door at 9 o'clock in the morning. How'd you take your coffee? That took you 20 seconds to send that text. That Gen Z will be sat at home and suddenly you've fixed the real problem. You've taken their fear away just by communicating. Now, I get if you're a Generation X or a baby boomer, you're going, oh, why do I have to do that? Nobody did that for me. I get it. But it's 30, 40 years ago that we learned. Think about how Gen Z sees the world, step into their world, and you'll likely remove some of those frustrations. Remember, a couple of facts about Generation Z. They want to be involved, they're going to change the world, and their key trait is truth. My truth. Doesn't have to be the same as your truth or your truth, but I have a truth. I have an opinion. I've been brought up to have one. I need you to hear it. I don't need you to accept my truth. I just need you to know I've got one. It's where the different gender pronouns come from. I mean, inclusivity and equity are really important concepts for this generation. Gender roles have changed, and actually the world is becoming almost more neutral in approach, where everybody can have that opinion. Gen Z are not bothered about the career path in 5 years' time, because they'll likely have 7 careers by the time they retire. What they want to do is know what you could do for them now. If I'm learning, I'm not leaving. This isn't about pay. I'm not going to leave you for 25p an hour. I am going to leave you for financial security, because Gen Z has experienced 2 recessions in their lifetime already. Food banks aren't new. They were here in 2008, with the last recession when Gen Z were kids, when parents had to pull their belts in, mass redundancies. We've just got social media now. So Gen Z have been through 2 recessions. Financial security is critical. Take me on for 20 hours, give me 20 hours. Now, we could talk so much around Generation Z. This is a light touch on who they are as a generation and what they're looking for. But if I'm learning, I'm not leaving. Include me, understand I've got an opinion, and also stop saying it's just common sense. Because the reality is, what's common sense to you might not be to a Generation Z. They've spent a lot of their life in technology. Their brains are wired differently. It's evolution. They're efficient. They're not lazy. Distinction. Last little example. I'm a Generation X. I'm laying in bed. I want to know what the weather's like today. I get out of bed, bloody cold. I go to the window, I open the curtains. Oh, look, it's raining. I'll need my umbrella. I get back in bed for that snooze. Gen Z will simply go, Alexa, what's the weather doing today? Tell me which of those 2 generations is efficient. Be Gen Z, right? AI, Alexa, ubiquitous technology everywhere. So it's not that they're lazy, it's just that they're different. Respect their truth, respect their desire for change, and involve them in everything that you're doing, and you won't go far wrong.